I was so glad she arrived.
This girl was going to help us.
She was Mary Poppins.
She's bubbly, she's lively, she's full of ideas, she's bright.
The girls thought she was amazing. The girls thought she was full of fun.
Her stories were fantastical. We were fascinated by them.
Her stories were so far-fetched that you couldn't make it up.
The minute her mouth was moving, she was lying.
Well, from Claudia Bronwyn, Lucy Fitzwilliams to Carrie Jade Williams, these are just some of the different identities taken by just one person, Samantha Cooks.
Serial fraudster Samantha Cooks. These are the names that she's been using around the country. Sadie Harris.
Carrie Jade Williams.
Lucy Fitzwilliams.
Lucy Hart.
Lucy Williamson.
Ellen Harris.
Everything was a lie.
It was one of the biggest scams that has ever happened on TikTok.
Where is the real Carrie Jade? Who is she?
She's gone from town to town, a pure con artist.
I was really scared for my friends and their children.
I slept with a hatchet beside my bed.
We're wrapped up in some serious thing, and I don't know how far this has gone.
Who have we had looking after our children?
Over a year ago now, I got diagnosed with a terminal degenerative neurological illness called Huntington's. Huntington's is basically Parkinson's meets ALS meets Alzheimer's. It had destroyed a large portion of my brain at that point, and I was very, very poorly. I was a very poorly girl, and kind of ended up in intensive care. And part of going through that, I had a great neurologist. And he said to me, do you know what, write a bucket list and see, use your time as well as you want to use it. It's your decision. That's kind of the blessing that Huntington's has given me, is that I'm limited for time, and I've gone, I'm going to live life on my terms and have a lot of fun.
With Carrie Jade Williams, I still stand by the fact that she looks so sweet and innocent. She doesn't look like she's done the things that she's done. She's, at face value, she looks like a really trustworthy person. I didn't know the severity of what was going to happen or how deep this story goes. A lot of my friends were starting on TikTok, and they would send me videos saying, you really need to do TikTok. I was like, right, okay, so I'll just see what it's about. I quickly got quite addicted to the quick scrolling. So when I went on there, I was making videos talking about the current events of that day. I did the Johnny Depp trial.
Everyone has their own reasons for believing what they want to believe, whether they believe Amber or whether they believe Johnny.
I would predict what Amber Heard was going to wear to court every day. I was predicting that she would wear a yellow top because it's a friendly colour. Yeah, I did say she was wearing yellow, and when I first did the video, I didn't realise it was yellow. I thought it was like a pale cream. I got it right again! I got it right every day, and how I did it, I don't know. And yeah, people really seemed to like it, and my page took off. Any video I did would have hundreds of thousands of views within like 5-10 minutes. I've always said TikTok fame isn't real fame. Only the people on that app know who you are. So when the trial finished, I decided, what am I going to do with my page? I had a large following and I wanted to use it for good. So I thought, well, why don't I try and build other people's pages up, help them out, people who really need it. I was tagged in Carrie Jade Williams videos by a lot of different people.
There are some perks to dying young. Like, number one, you can do wild things. And if people say, oh, geez, why did she do that? You can say, well, it's the Huntingtons. The first thing I know I was told I had Huntington's disease. The first thing I was told is do not Google Huntington's disease because you'll need picking up off the floor. The first thing I read about my own illness was horrific. Now it is a horrific illness, but I hope that in the future, when some young woman gets the diagnosis of Huntington's, that the first thing they might see is someone like me that's living life.
To me, she was vulnerable at that time.
Now, I do a huge amount of advocacy around Huntington's disease. I'm a big believer in the gift economy and that the world provides you what you need.
Her story is that she was being sued by, I believe, an American couple for having disabled aides in her house. Apparently, she said that she didn't declare it when she was renting out the place, so that they were so traumatised by it that they were suing her.
I know, yeah, these guests are suing for, it's a life-changing sum of money. They are so emotionally traumatised and triggered by being forced to be around me. They are seeking a huge amount of compensation.
I was disgusted at what was happening to her.
And as I'm terminally ill, I self-fund all my medication and my experimental treatments. So for me, I don't have the luxury of just being able to pay them off to get them out of my life. So we have to sort of stand firm in this.
I've done care for quite a lot of my life. I've worked in lots of different care settings. I've worked in schools for autistic children. So yeah, I really wanted to help her. I really wanted to stick up for her as part of a disabled community. I wanted to get her voice be heard, do you know? You couldn't imagine her lying, but the fact that she's so well-spoken and the fact that she looks sweet and innocent, it clouded my brain straight away to go, oh, well, let's just make some videos for her. Let's help her out. I did feel sorry for her and I felt very compelled to help her. I made my video.
This lovely lady has Huntington's disease and she opened her home up to Airbnb. And some guests came into her house and they are now suing her for £450,000 for trauma of having to be around her. Anyway, this lady's got a petition. Run to this lady's page. She absolutely needs it. Go to her page, interact with all of her videos. Please, 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 we need to get this as far as we can. It really needs a collective community support here for everybody to try and spread as much awareness around this as possible.
Overnight, it just expanded. My video went up to like 1.2 million, and then all of a sudden she's got all of these followers, and that video just went super viral.
The lady in the video has terminal Huntington disease, which is a debilitating illness.
This is just outrageous. Even if the judge threw the whole thing out and awarded her millions and millions, they'd just wait her out because she's going to die.
Please go and sign it to offer support and show that the disabled community stick together and that this is not acceptable. Airbnb need to be ashamed of themselves.
She had a link on her page where she was printing 3D sensory items for disabled children.
Put it here then. Yeah. Right. What letter can you see?
Right.
That one's pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Doggy.
That's doggy.
I'm a single mom. Both of the children are on the autistic spectrum. I enjoy scrolling through TikTok. It's kind of my escape from real life. On an evening, I would just have a little scroll on there, just as a break. I remember the first videos I saw of Carrie. She had one of those faces where it just drew you in naturally. And I remember every day I would wake up and want to check if she'd posted any videos.
Well, feed me to an alligator with a tinfoil hat. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It's lovely to see some of you, and I will reach out again later. Okay, thank you.
It kind of took a turn. She started showing us these sensory items that she's made. She claimed that she could print anything on a 3D printer. She then went on to say that she wanted to help so many families before she died. So this is the space that Carrie Jade had promised we were going to have the sensory room in. So the plan was to have like fibre optics coming from like a waterfall. There was going to be like bubble tubes on the wall, so you can have like a flat bubble tube. They're worth so much money, I could never buy it. For my children, they have pretty big meltdowns. It can be quite extreme sometimes. There can be pretty violent behaviour. To just kind of have a sensory space where they can touch base, come back down to earth, regulate their emotions a little bit can be really helpful. I went onto Carrie's website. She claimed that she had a factory and she was saying that she had like employees.
So at the moment in our main business, we have 18 like work from home positions that are vacant. I think we're all really awesome. I love my team.
Because she claimed she could 3D print this sensory room, it was going to be a lot cheaper, and it was her dying wish. She wanted to help people because she was dying. I purchased her £250 bundle. That £250 was my children's Christmas money. She then, after speaking to me, told me she liked me so much, she was going to make this £1,000 worth of stuff. It would have been life-changing. I thought, wow, I believed she was the real deal.
I got an email when I was at football with my son. It was completely anonymous. I was genuinely shaking. It was just a link. It was a link to her surrogacy scam in the UK, Samantha Cooks. Who is this? Is this the same person? I just couldn't believe that she could have been capable. Who is Samantha? This has to be a mistake. It cannot be the same person.
Samantha Cooks. I just think that she's just a very dangerous person. I actually thought we were possibly a one-off. I didn't expect her to then keep doing the things that she has done to other victims, and get away with it. It's sick. It really is. We were going through a hardship having a family. We tried different avenues. We'd gone down adoption, we'd gone down fostering. We'd gone through a series of IVF treatments. We'd kept on failing and failing. You see everybody around you having kids. You think that it's something that would possibly come naturally to you. You don't realise how, oh God. Something so natural that should happen literally doesn't. So at that point we were desperate for having a family. I'd put a sort of feeler out. I had a reply from Samantha and saying that she would be willing to help us. It was fantastic. It was almost like being on cloud nine. You won the lottery. You were finally going to get that family that you really, really wanted. She came to the house. She was very kind, warm-hearted, delicate. She said she'd been a surrogate beforehand to another lady and her husband and produced a little girl. She was asking for money regarding insurance for the surrogacy policy. There was other bits and pieces that she needed during pregnancy. She started to slip up. We asked about contracts. She wasn't willing to part with that. She kept on messaging saying that the contract needed amending and needed amending. When I asked her if she could produce the contract to then either email it if it was easier or would come down to hers, she then started threatening, saying that we were not allowed to go down to her area. I was thinking, oh no, this is just wrong. My husband had then rang the police. It just literally all came crashing down. There was no baby. And then next thing we know is she's been arrested. The court had put down for 2,000. I personally don't think it's that. It's anywhere between the region of £2,000 to £5,000.
For us, she got off scot-free, really, a slap on the wrist. 9 months suspended sentence, paying us back £20 a month, which we very rarely saw.
She put it in a statement, didn't she, that she was extremely sorry for the trauma that she put us through and that she...
It was never an intention, yada, 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 but then she'd learned from her mistakes and she'd never do it again. She's found other avenues and different channels to go down to defraud people, basically, and get money.
She's quite happily doing it, and until somebody stops her completely, she's gonna carry on.
I was determined to find out what was actually going on. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I didn't believe that link in the first place. Frauding people like this. No, this has to be a mistake. It cannot be the same person. My heart was pounding. My heart, because at this point I'd made like 2 or 3 videos and there was millions of views on them.
This lovely lady has Huntington's disease and she opened her home up to Airbnb. Run to this lady's page.
She can't be lying about this. Who lies about things like that? I've sent all of these people over to her page, supporting her. What if I've got this wrong? I had to have factual evidence, or as much as that I could get hold of, before I went back to TikTok and said, look, I don't think that this lady's right. Didn't really know what to do. It was a very stressful few days of me trying to find information, evidence, photos to try and match it up to make sure it was definitely her. You can never get rid of your digital footprint. So I went back and I found photos. She changes her appearance so much, it was quite hard to say, well, is this the same person? But because she'd had moles on her neck, I was able to identify that that was definitely her. I know this is Samantha. Oh my God, what have I done? I've sent all of these people over to her page. I did comment on one of her videos and I said, Samantha, can you contact me, please? I need to speak to you. And within seconds, my comment was gone. Other comments had popped up saying, oh, I thought your name was Carrie Jade. Oh, I thought your name was this. I thought your name was that. And I was watching it unfold in front of me. The next thing I know, the comments were turned off. Why did she put herself on social media? I'm not quite sure if she just had a moment of stupidness where she was like, well, nobody's going to recognise me, I'll be fine.
The dying lady is what I knew her as. I thought she was amazing. She was almost like a celebrity. She was getting hundreds of thousands of views. Up until this point, I had absolutely zero suspicion.
I knew what I knew at this point. I had to tell people. So I did it. I broke the story.
So this here is Samantha Cooks. This is the lady from the disability videos with the Airbnb, okay? There's more stuff. So this is other stuff that comes up on the internet. Samantha Cooks. I don't know if she's got Huntington's disease and I don't know if this happened to her, but what I do know is that I've had a lot of people messaging me, telling me that they've known her by different names. I've seen it on her posts. She's turned her comments off because there was an argument in her posts about her pretending to be other people. I honestly do not know what's going on. I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest. All I know is
I found it really hard to watch this one. It was a very stressful time. I was very upset. I didn't want to have to be the person to do that, do you know what I mean? But it was important.
I woke up to a video by Maz, which was exposing Carrie Jade. There was a statement on Samantha's website.
She releases a statement on her website saying Samantha Cooks is actually her sister.
It was her sister. She said that I am Carrie Jade Williams, Samantha Cooks. A scammer is my mentally unwell sister. An evil sister.
But obviously we knew quite quickly that that wasn't true.
Carrie Jade Williams is Samantha Cooks. It was so crazy. I paid the money to Samantha Cooks, but I never received a single sensory item from Samantha, and I am yet to find another person who did. I was gutted that we weren't getting a sensory room. We're the kind of people that can't afford to be losing money. Once I was scammed, I went on TikTok.
A fair few of us have purchased items on there, but we've never found anyone who's received a thing.
People were making videos after videos. It's TikTok drama, and TikTok loves drama.
The whole situation with Samantha Cooks is really, really disturbing. She's been doing this for so long. It is definitely pathological.
That was bullshit, and I believed it. And the reason I believed it is because I am disabled, and because I have experienced stuff like this firsthand.
She has also fraudulently taken money from charities, thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds from established charities who also fell for her con. She's a very dangerous woman, and we need to keep spreading the word. We need to keep talking about her so she's got nowhere to hide.
I kind of went into a little detective mode. I was posting my own videos on TikTok.
She's just a long-term scammer. There was a surrogacy scam.
She is Sam Cooks. She is Sam Cooks. I was digging and trying to find out information. People were commenting from years and years ago.
My name's Jamie Bunting, and I met Samantha Cooks in September 2011 while we were studying for HND in business at Shrewsbury College. When I first met Sam, she was very bubbly, smiling, very well dressed. She was 23 and I was 24. The sort of person you fell in love with really at first. She got to know me and realised I wasn't in the best place, and she just sort of offered me that support, made me believe that I could do things. She was very intelligent. She used to help me after classes. I thought, oh my God, I've made such a wonderful friend, really. My friend started a relationship on the course with Samantha. She told us in class that she was carrying a child. We were all really excited. Two of our friends on the course were having a child together, and it was just a great feeling at the time. And I remember we were walking through Asda the one day, me and my friends were like, oh, should we go and have a look at the baby clothes and see if we can get something for them too? It was, you know, usually we're walking into Sainsbury's to get a crate of beer, you know. I started picking up on certain things with Sam. I think she'd just be changing what she was saying a lot. She said she had a bad back. We were all being supportive, you know, helping her get up, taking her bags, giving her a lift to the station and seeing if she wanted any help up the stairs. She picked a box up for the teacher one day, and I said, oh, Sam, isn't your back, bad? You said it was really severe. And she was like, oh, no, I just put some lotion on it to help. And I thought, right, okay. And that's when I started thinking, something not quite right here. She said that she'd sort a trip out to Amsterdam for us. A week before we were going to go away to Amsterdam, she said, oh, I'm not sure we're going to go away because I'm not going to be able to go. We said, oh, can we just have the tickets? And then she goes, oh, I've lost them. That's when I started noticing the lies were starting to pack up a bit. The tutor turned around to me and she said, you're not going, are you? And I said, no. So she goes, have you got any suspicions? I said, I have, yeah. The tutor turned around and she goes, I shouldn't say this, but I think you need to do some deep research online. 20 minutes later, I found out about the surrogate scam. I confronted her. I can't believe you've done this. Look, can I just have my money back? You know, went from the bubbly girl to being quite verbally horrible. Give it us back and we'll say no more, you know. That's when I started getting a reaction out of Sam, who she is and what she was trying to do. Before the helping and hello and come and give me a hug and all this and let me look after you, that was just an act to reel me in. And that was the last time I saw her.
Me and my friend Samantha's child's father met up for a drink, and he was showing pictures of his child. After they had the baby, he said that the child had been removed from Sam and he's got full custody over it. And that's when I found out Samantha Cooks has had her child taken away from her. About a year after, it was in the Shropshire Star in Shrewsbury. Samantha Cooks had gone missing.
There was this investigation involving Samantha Cooks. She'd been reported missing by her partner. Straight off the bat, it was an odd case. The more you found out about her and the surrounding circumstances, the odder it got. She'd had a very colourful history. From an early age, I think, had been a bit of a Walter Mitty character. She was a pathological liar. Her mother even used to tell her boyfriends that she was a pathological liar. It is unusual for a mother publicly to say to her daughter lies a lot to her boyfriends. You don't find that very often. That stood out. Previously, she'd been involved in a surrogacy case. She had previous visits to Ireland, so Ireland was a good place to go and look for her. I've contacted the Gardaí, sent them across to our missing person report. We'd been told she was pregnant. Knowing that she was pregnant, as she was, that would have impacted her reasoning. I suspect she was clearly worried about, is the second child going to be taken off me? That clearly was the trigger for her going missing. Were there concerns that her being pregnant, she might harm the baby? Well, yes, there would have been. There was a question mark over it. I think that's the best I can put it. I thought we're going to be hearing more of her. That just shone out loud and clear. You just looked at the background. She just couldn't stop herself until she was found in Ireland.
We happened to be, I'd say, the first one she hit when she came to Ireland.
Well, when we knew Samantha Cooks, she was Sophia Williamson, was in Edenderry.
In 2013.
If I met her today, I'd still like her.
Yeah.
Do you know, she has that kind of a personality.
Yeah, just very likeable. And I don't know, she's just like a people person that she'd, and you would go, oh no, she's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah. She was running Honeysuckle's art school. They were dirt cheap, like €3.
For 3 hours?
Yeah. And so I said, oh great, I'll bring my kids down. And then I told Karen.
So it's her fault.
She was very heavily pregnant. I mean, you automatically just trust a pregnant woman when you see her, don't you? When had you met in Disneyland? So she had spare places that she could offer us really cheap.
Really cheap. Basically, you're just paying with the buzz.
We had paid the deposit.
Our husband said we were gullible.
We weren't the only ones.
No, we
There was
weren't,
a few
no.
people. Was Disneyland meant to be in February?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this could have been January, and there was no mention, there was nothing coming forward of any more details. We were starting to get a bit sus about this. There was just lots of things. I suppose it's a small enough community. You know, we all got talking, and yeah, you just know. So we called down to her one night.
She had the baby wrapped up and all warm. We'd heard that she had delivered the baby at home by herself, by all accounts, that she had, just had the baby at home, and neighbours were concerned because there didn't seem to be any health care or anything like that, so they had reported it,
Following her being discovered, it was established that she had given birth, and that baby, sadly, was removed from her and taken back to the UK and given to the partner who had reported her missing, who was also looking after the other child that she'd had. She decided that she wanted to continue living in Ireland for whatever reason. It may well seem a bit odd, but everyone's got a right to go missing. Our case was then closed.
She disappeared.
Yeah, gone.
Very quickly. Yeah. We didn't know what happened to her.
No.
And I often did wonder down through the years what happened to her,
This woman is not just a dying sick woman scamming for attention on TikTok. There's so much more to it. We kind of got a bit of a picture together of her life. This is pretty insane. Her whole entire life has been one scam after another scam. A lot of people were looking for information about her life. Once we got her name, then you could kind of go on to Ancestry.com and you could work out, actually, she's had children. I remember when I found out about her children, just feeling utterly gobsmacked. She just pathologically lies, she can't help it.
I don't even have kids, but the thought of trying to teach a child anything scares me.
As a mother myself, I can't imagine not seeing my children. I can't imagine going a couple of nights away from my children, never mind having absolutely no contact. And you've got to remember, she was online as this lovely, dying person. When you say, actually, she's got children she's not allowed to see, you would never put that with the Carrie Jade Williams that we got to know as a TikTok persona.
Accessibility should be about making the world more improved and better for humans.
We came across Layla, who had Samantha as a nanny.
Lucy Hart, that's what we know her as. We moved here from the UK in 2005. My husband was working full-time and so was I. I don't have any family. My husband doesn't have any family here, so it's just me and him. We did check out all the creches. We couldn't afford those. Crazy amounts of money. I had one of my old friends from back home say, wow, an au pair? Yeah, you must have money. No, don't have money. It's just, it was more of a convenience and a cheaper option. We used a website and that's where we found Lucy. Obviously, being an English person and she's English, seemed to get on like a house on fire. I didn't check for any passports. I didn't do any, calling any references of what she was like. I just took her as face value, really. She was Mary Poppins.
I was the age of 10, turning 11. She was genuinely a big ball of fun, so it was everything up my alley. The minute she would get up, we would be doing something fun. She genuinely did actually become a part of our family. Like, my parents made her feel so welcomed. I got really close to her. I really did get close to her.
The tales that she used to tell, everything that we would mention, she's done it bigger and better, you know, so that you would get the wow factor from her. She said that her mother was the manufacturer for sandpaper for B&Q. You're sitting there and you're thinking, wow. That looks familiar, that one there. No, this was it. This was it. This was the house, because I can remember we parked in here. At the time, we were paying quite a bit for rent. We couldn't afford to keep paying that much money. Lucy was a Jehovah's Witness. She mentioned that there was a new church that was going to be moving into Maynooth. There's a house going for cheaper than what we were paying. She had been in touch with the church elder. He won't mind a lovely family going into that house. Took us to the house, showed us the outside. Beautiful house. So we boxed everything up. We gave notice to my landlord, and each time we asked, is there any chance we can go and we can view the place? We just kept on getting, such and such is out of town at the moment. There was always an excuse. There's something happening here. And then the one particular day that she was in the car with us, we happened to drive up past the house. There was a gentleman standing in the garden. So, of course, we were like, great. And all of a sudden, she started to feel ill. So she was like, I really need to use the bathroom. Is there any chance that we could go to the restrooms? Nearest place we could think of was Tesco in Maynooth. We were parked in the car park and she went upstairs. The two girls went with her. My two children came running downstairs telling me that she'd collapsed in Tesco.
I just remember like picking up my little sister and running downstairs with her to let my mum know that Lucy had fainted. She looked straight at my dad and was like, it was like the light bulb kind of moment.
Why didn't I pick up on this sooner? There is no house.
Lucy went on some writer's retreat, which she told us, and she never came back.
We got the letter to say that she wasn't coming back.
She knew it was catching up with her.
It's all fabrications. She's being caught up on her lies. So we were like, right, we're going to have to clear her room. And we started pulling out things out the wardrobe, and then there was a little index card notebook. And I just started to read. Sorry. In one of her lines, she puts, I stand shoulder to shoulder with the coroner that I did not murder my daughter. And I just went, who have we had looking after our children? She never mentioned any children to me, that she's ever had any children. That's strange, very strange.
So as I was digging and trying to find out information about Samantha, one of her ex-partners came forward from years and years ago. He confirmed that she was actually from Gloucester originally, and this is where her family was based also. He is the one that kind of filled in the picture of her very early life. That's when it became something so much more.
This is a part of my life that I've kept very closed. We were both 18 when I knew her. I would have been incredibly shy. I was still very immature, and I saw her as being quite a confident, intelligent, attractive person who I almost felt a bit lucky to have met. I suppose it was quite tense quite quickly. By the end of the summer, we were a couple. I did meet her family. They were quite normal and welcoming. I seemed to settle in quite well with them. That misleading nature was already prominent in her personality at that point. From my experience, there was a lot of unnecessary lies and deception. She said that she had a problem with her hands at school and she had to wear gloves a lot. Whether it's to make her seem more interesting at that point, I don't know. This mutual friend said, "Oh, you can't trust a word she says." Those small little strange incidents started to slowly build up over that period. So I do remember thinking, I'm not sure this is really going to work. I've tried to end it. She'd done a test and she said she was pregnant. After that, I would be inundated with messages and calls. Is it real? Is it just made up? Is it a tactic? I think that whole being a little family thing was a real wish for her. It was something that she would have referred to during that period. The whole period is not something I look back with much pride. My involvement in the pregnancy was next to zero, really. It was going to be an adoption. I found out that baby Martha had died from a local newspaper report that there had been this death the day that Martha was going to be taken for adoption. Those details do raise questions for me.
Sam Cooks woke up between 6:30 and 700 hours on the 18th of November 2008 and gave Martha the first feed of the day. Sam was aware that the adoption worker was arriving that morning and was looking forward to signing the adoption paperwork. The adoption paperwork was signed by Sam as between 1200 hours and 1400 hours Martha would normally have asleep. Sam placed Martha on her back and placed her into a V-shaped pillow. Sam lay on the bed next to Martha. Her intention was never to fall asleep. She wanted to lie next to Martha and watch her.
When Sam woke up, she saw that the rectangular pillow was over Martha's face and that the V-shaped pillow was slightly wrapped around the neck of Martha. Sam pulled Martha from underneath the pillows. She was lifeless and she was blue. Sam then picked Martha up and went to run out of the bedroom. She went to open the door and found that it was locked from the inside.
I'm satisfied that the appropriate verdict that I should record in relation to Martha is that she died an accidental death.
I just find it really, really sad. Her baby passed away. That is enough to send you on a spiral anyway. That's a lot of emotions. Maybe she didn't know how to deal with that, and that could have triggered something in her that then moved her on to doing the things that she's done.
It's reported that she felt that society was looking at her and blaming her for murdering that child, and no criminal action was pursued against her, and it was deemed to be an accident. Clearly that would have had a psychological impact on her. But throughout all of this, defrauding people, that started long before Martha. That started at an early age. But there are lots of people, sadly, who have deaths of children who then don't go on to commit offences and defraud people like she has.
Oh my gosh, this has taken a huge other turn. It was like, hey up, this is someone who actually could pose a bit of a danger to people rather than just being a lady online who was using TikTok as a platform.
This one is the one that we found in the room. But as you can still see, I stand shoulder to shoulder with the coroner that I did not murder my daughter. Me as a parent, leaving my children in her care, if I'd have known for 1 second that she had children, yeah, things would have been a whole lot different. I'm an open book. I have no secrets. I have no skeletons in my closet kind of thing. She obviously clearly does. I would warn anybody about her. Don't let her in your home. Don't let her in.
After she was outed, she just vanished. From real life, from online, from everywhere, no one knew where she'd gone. We all wanted to know where Samantha Cooks was. What is she doing now?
If I'm being absolutely honest, I don't think this is going to be the end to her. I do think that she will carry on. Sadly, I don't think that she's going to stop.
She had won the Financial Times essay competition. She's just created fascinating stories that are mad. We were gobsmacked.
She had us all fooled.
I was all of a sudden dealing with somebody that I didn't have a clue what she was capable of.
She came in like an angel swooping in. I thought, she's a real-life Mary Poppins. She knew exactly what she was doing when she came to our house.
A mask dropped and this voice came from nowhere. I will have them.
We just didn't know what she was going to do with our children. I didn't see any of this coming. None of us did.